had a vision last night. Wasn't a nightmare. It was definitely a look into, I believe, another timeline. It was too real. It's the only way I can describe it. It's just too real. Didn't feel like a dream. And the reason I say that, I could touch, smell, taste, hear the whole thing. Anyway, I was in a city. I couldn't tell you what city it was, but I was on top of a building for some reason, and it wasn't a huge like skyscraper or anything like that, but it was a pretty tall building. And on top of this building, it was daytime. I could see, other people on top of buildings, and everybody was kind of panicked together. I didn't know why. I was very confused by the whole thing. I felt like it was hard for me to breathe, and I kept, tapping people to try to get answers. What's going on? What's happening? And one lady who was standing next to me, she just looked at me and she said, "It's happening and it's real." And I had this knowing that kind of came about that time, completely realistic. I saw what were either like fireballs or missiles, I'm not sure what they were, stream through the sky. And I only really caught the last part of it as they hit the rooftops across from where I was. And it was horrific. It wasn't like the movies where you see something explode and that's it. I saw these things hit on impact, and I saw body parts flying everywhere. I saw people exploding. I saw people falling to their deaths right in front of me. And of course, as this happens, complete and utter turmoil just happens on the rooftop that I'm at. And for whatever reason, I guess maybe I knew I wasn't in my timeline. I don't know. While everybody else was kind of running over each other, trying to get to the stairwell, I was standing watching the skies to see what I could see. And there were just all these fireballs coming down, one after the next, one after the next, one after the next. And I could see explosions everywhere, and I could just see fires breaking out. And finally, I left and I ran down the stairwell, which was filled with smoke at this point. Our building hadn't been hit, but there was just smoke, I guess, from the streets coming up and up to above. And people falling over the stairwell to their death, blatant, very, very gruesome in front of me. And I got outside, and I remember someone stepping on my shin. I don't know why that stands with me, but it hurt. And I got outside, and there was, as I came out of the building, there was an African-American gentleman, older, wearing how people ride their bicycles, the full gear, the helmet, the whole thing. And he had a water bottle kind of connected over here. And he asked me, he says, "Do you know what's happening?" And I said, I think I do. And from that moment, he just started wandering in another direction. And I started to pick up the pace because I could feel that something bigger was coming. And there was this screeching sound, almost like, when a train starts braking, the screeching. There was a screeching sound you could hear. And I was trying to figure out, was America under attack, from a foreign adversary? Had something gone wrong? Was this something biblical? And I realized that this was a biblical event, but it wasn't a true biblical event. It was a manufactured biblical event. someone was trying to make it look like we were dealing with the apocalypse, and that people were to believe that, you know, Almighty's vengeance had fallen down on us. And as I was going through, and I mean, it was completely realistic. If you can envision, you know, being in the middle of a war, being in the middle of hell, it was just felt like that. The air was thick, it was dirty, you know, total chaos and panic. Every empathic, you know, aspect that you have going would make you want to, you know, end it at that point. But I stopped, and as I did, I kind of felt myself in a light, like a protective sort of light. And I said, I'm not going to accept this. This is not my intent. This is not my energy. I refuse this. This is not my intent. This is not my energy. And I said it over and over and over again. And eventually I opened up my eyes and realized I was back